Hello again, I'm Jim Glover, that branding guy for Once a Day Marketing, where business takes shape. And today is Strategic Tuesday, where we try to get you thinking about how to beat out your competition. Now, we want you to remember that marketing doesn't have to be overly complicated, but it should be consistent. And that's really, again, the purpose of our blog is to get you thinking about marketing whenever you can. And today's subject matter topic is called Making Existing Customers Count. Okay, there are lots of ways to grow your business, and that's what Once a Day Marketing is all about. Today we're going to talk about a couple of areas. One of them is finding new customers, which is a very good strategy. And another strategy is try to develop more work from your existing customers. And that's really what we're going to focus on today. Now, why is that a good idea? Well, those customers already know you and you have a relationship with them. So it's not going to be very costly for you to get the word out to those customers about new product offerings. So those customers have familiarity with your brand, trust with your brand, confidence in your brand, and so they're a very good candidate to try to encourage to either buy your product more often or to spend more money when they do. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So before we get into the strategic thinking part of our day, we're going to talk quickly about the 80-20 rule. Now, you're probably familiar with it, you've heard about it, but what does it really mean? Well, it plays out nicely for business and really plays out nicely for marketing. What it means typically is that 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. When you relate that to marketing, it means that 80% of the sales typically come from 20% of your customers. And we want you to keep that in mind as we get to the next section where we talk about strategy to increase sales from existing customers. Now I want you to put your strategic thinking caps on, and I want you to pull out the whiteboard or your notepad or some sophisticated piece of software on your computer that allows you to keep track of your ideas. Now go back to the 80-20 rule and think about that 20% of the customers that are driving 80% of your business and ask yourself why. What are you doing to get them to continually to purchase your product? They like your product. They understand your product. They like the value proposition. They like the benefits that they derive from purchasing and using your products. So I want you now to think about that 20% in your mind, and we're going to start going through a little laundry list of things that might be causing them to buy your product. And then you're going to use those ideas to try to create new strategies to drive even more traffic from that customer base. I'm a big fan of the 7 P's of marketing, and we're going to use that list right now to see if you can identify more ways to encourage your customers to return to your business more often, to buy more products, and to spend more when they do. So the first thing is product. What do they like about your product right now? And think about it. What can you do to enhance that product that coveted 20% will buy even more? Okay, that's the first question. Next, how about pricing? Since they're the coveted 20%, can you do anything with pricing to encourage them to purchase even more? So think about that. Promotion. They know you, you know them. Is there a clever way, a faster way, a cheaper way, a better way to let them know that they can buy your product today and that you've revamped your product, you've changed your pricing, whatever your changes might be? How can you get them excited and figure out that way to tell them that? Next is the place. Where are they buying your product right now? Can you make it even easier for them to get your product? Perhaps you show up and drop it on the door. But think about how they are getting your product today and make that better. Now think about the people in your organization. They're interacting with those people. They're interacting with the people in your distribution channel that gets the product to them. Is there any way you can improve that 20% would love you even more? So think about that. Next is the physical evidence. What are they actually seeing about your product? They already like it. Can you enhance that physical evidence? Can you enhance what they see related to your product and make that better so that will entice them to buy more? And then lastly, the process. How are they getting into the channel and coming out of the channel on the other side with your product in hand, can you make that a great experience for them? We've talked about that in the past. So really work on how to enhance that experience, especially with your 20. They already know your product, you just need to refine it in their mind and make it even more appealing. And so when you're all said and done, theoretically, you'll have some new strategy on how to target that 20% so that they'll show up more often, increasing the frequency, and when they do, perhaps they'll spend more with you. Well, as always, thanks again for tuning in, and be sure to join us tomorrow for Action Wednesday. A little reminder, we are now on Twitter, so you can find us at Once a Day Marketing on Twitter, and if you follow us, then you'll get announcements as to when our next video blog goes online. So again, I'm Jim Glover, that branding guy for Once a Day Marketing, and we'll see you next time.